Well, good evening, folks, and welcome along to the Redlands Coast Distillery. Thank you for having us tonight, and thank you to a very small but dedicated crowd who've turned up tonight in what turns out to be the worst night to be on Brisbane roads. So who knew with a long weekend happening that people would be coming to Queensland or in fact leaving it? It doesn't seem to matter which direction you're going. It's just been bedlam on the roads out here tonight. So as unfortunate as that has turned out to be for our invited guests, we've still got a pretty good little crowd in here, and we've got the main people that we'd like to talk to tonight. We've just seen a great presentation from Chris Tipper from Ainsley Bullion. So if you are in the market for a bit of gold or a bit of silver, go to ainsleyBullion.com.au and check that out. They've got a competition on there at the moment where they're giving away a 5-ounce silver bar, and there is a code that you might be able to use. I won't give that away just yet. I'll have a talk with Chris and see if I'm allowed to do that online. But there is a code. Might be able to pick up a 5-ounce bar of silver, which would be very nice indeed. So we're here tonight to not only open My Place Redlands, which I think will probably morph into My Place Cleveland at some point in time. We'll join together. But also to launch the Freedom Broadcasting Network and our mobile outside broadcast unit. It's something I've been talking about for 12 months or more, and it's finally come to fruition. It wouldn't be possible without you and the help of people like you who've chipped in to make this a reality. And of course, with our business partners who've got involved as well, and Cass Smith and her team from Freedom Financial Solutions are at the forefront of that. So I can't thank them enough for getting involved. Cass is a leader in the freedom movement. She wants to support those of us that want the right thing. So if you want to be part of the right side of the movement, then the Freedom Broadcasting Network is going to be able to give you a platform. It's going to be quite significant. You've heard me talk about the radio station for some time. We are in the process now of getting that website fully built, and it will be running in the next, well, 2 or 3 weeks, we hope. There is an awful lot of music gone in there, and music that you are going to love, but there'll also be a lot of truth coming out of the radio, and you'll be able to listen to it online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at fbnmedia.online/radio. That will be our new website, fbnmedia.online. And there'll be a whole heap of other stuff there too. So that website not available yet, but we are building it at the moment, and that will form a very large part of what we're going to do going forward. My last couple of weeks have been very stressful trying to get this thing together. It has been a labour of love and a lot of frustration in different parts at different times. And we're still going through some minor teething issues, but they are only minor, and hopefully by the end of next week we will be on the road and heading to Victoria, and we'll be catching up with a whole bunch of people in Woodend, Shepparton, Echuca, Maryborough, Bendigo, Ballarat, Horsham, and anywhere else we can figure out a bend in the road to pull up at. So we're looking forward to coming down and telling your stories as well with the Voice of Freedom, and finding out how you might be able to play a role in the Freedom Broadcasting Network. As I said, it wouldn't be possible to do any of this without the help of a lady that I met pretty much as soon as I got into this game. She was a great support then, very encouraging, and a great inspiration in many ways. She's also been very handy in pointing me in the right direction to speak to certain people and gaining a little bit of access here and there. So I can't thank you enough for that. Ladies and gentlemen, will you put your hands together for Cass Smith from Freedom Financial Solutions. Thank you, Cass. Thanks for coming.
Hi, everyone. Thanks all for coming tonight to our launch. It's fantastic to see you all here. I'm not here tonight to talk about superannuation in great detail. It's a Friday night after all. Everything that I can tell you is in a brochure that we've got here, so grab one on your way out. We also have a fantastic YouTube channel that has all the technical boring, or I shouldn't say it's boring. it's very, very exciting, the fact that you can actually get your superannuation out of what I call the online systems, get it into your own hands, into gold and silver. Very, very, very exciting. But I just don't want to harp on it tonight. I just wanted to keep it quick and simple tonight. Thanking Carl as much as he thanks me, I thank him as well. We've been on a journey together for quite some time now. Carl said to me some time ago, I need a bus. And I went, what am I meant to do about a bus? But I thought back to my earlier days, and some people see me as a successful businesswoman, and I was for quite a long period of time. But a lot of people don't know about my background, and that I built up a very, very successful business, only to be defrauded in quite a large way, and ended up at the age of roughly about 40, completely bankrupt, liquidated, lost everything I had, including my family home. Got kicked out by the sheriff. So I don't know if anyone's been through that, where the sheriff turns up and actually locks you out of your own home. You've got a couple of hours to remove your belongings, and the rest is sold at auction. At the time, I had 4 young children, and I was a single mother, and I absolutely lost everything. It was very, very hard times. I remember times I couldn't afford their shoes. I couldn't afford their school excursions. And the school gave the kids all free clothes, free uniform, just to help us get through. One night I was at the supermarket, and I was trying to buy dinner, and my hand was shaking as I was handing over my FPOS card, going, I don't know if I've got enough money for dinner. Then I woke up to myself and I thought, what the hell am I thinking? I am bringing all this upon myself. Poor pity me, poor pity me, poor pity me. It was a load of crap. I had parents that lived in the same suburb. They never would have seen my kids starve. And, sorry, my earrings. And so I dropped the poor pity me, and I even realised that the bankruptcy was brought upon myself as well. When I was going through all the trouble, I kept thinking, oh my God, I'm going bankrupt. Oh my God, I'm going bankrupt. Oh my God, I'm going to lose everything. And then I did. So I went back to all of my learnings, and I did years and years and years of personal development training, 20 years. Under some really, really good leadership. I went back to that and I thought, this is all in my head. And I've done it once, I can do it again. So I got my head back together, I rebuilt, and I've rebuilt to greater places than I was before when I lost everything. And my kids have seen that. My kids have been on a great journey. They are now absolutely fantastic kids. I'll hand out to them all, just so I don't miss any of them. One's currently running an online coaching business on the Gold Coast. So if anyone needs a personal trainer, one of my sons plays NRL for the Canberra Raiders. My daughter's running a fantastic business. She's doing an amazing job. And my young son's now a carpenter. So they're all doing well because they've seen me fail and fall and then just get back up and do it again. So they've learned a lot. So back to the story, Carl came to me and said, I need a bus. And I said, what am I meant to do about a bus? And then I went, well, why not? Let's get a bus. And shout out to Ainsley Bullion here for being the first supporter we had. At first, I didn't think it was going to happen, but when Ainsley came along and said, look, we'll match, Freddom Financial Solutions did put in a lot of money, and then Ainsley came along and said they would match, and then after that, the ball was just rolling and people were just coming out of the woodwork. Even anonymous donors just saying, have 20,000, have 10,000, have 5,000. Unbelievable until we got to where we are, and now we're launching the network. So it's all very, very exciting. So thanks, Carl, for the journey. And if you do want to know anything more about Self-Managed Super Fund, catch me here. YouTube channel, it's just Cass Smith. And Freddom Financial Solutions, the brochure, have a look. Come and talk to me. I won't want to harp on about superannuation tonight, but my personal opinion, and that's all I can say is my personal opinion because I'm not a financial planner anymore, is that get your money out of the system and get it into gold and silver.
Thank you very much, Cass. Thank you. And she is a hell of an inspiring story. Whether she chooses to share the entire trauma of what happened to her going bankrupt is up to her, but I have heard the story. And the intestinal fortitude, the single focus, the goal setting and planning that Cass has used in her life is something I hope to get some benefit out of and maybe learn a few of those skills as well, because God knows I need them. So, yes, without Cass and without Ainsley, they were the two that began this bus journey, if you like, our mobile broadcast centre. But there are anonymous donors who want to just say thank you to you. And to my Melbourne Angel, thank you to you. There are a few others who have donated or actually invested. And one of our very own, who's very close to us, you all probably know his name, I won't say, but he's thrown in a few bucks too. Thank you very much to him. So we've spent it all. It's all parked out the front. Thankfully, we've got about half a tank of petrol and 200 litres of LPG on board. So I don't know how far it'll get us, but it'll get us as far as it gets us, and then we'll just keep on going. So that's the big thing. We have invested very heavily in the vehicle, which I'm not sure. Rob, do you want to play that little video that we did today? Rob had from the Galactic Larrikins, if you'd like to give him a round of applause upstairs, pushing the buttons for me tonight. He's come up from Newcastle. Or actually, I think he drove all the way from Canberra, but he's up just to push the buttons for us tonight. So he took my GoPro today and was holding onto that as we drove in to go and collect the vehicle that you've seen out the front. Everybody here has obviously seen it, but you folks at home, well, you haven't. And unfortunately, I didn't load up any before pictures for you, but I will show you what it looked like next week before they turned it into what you're about to see. So, Rob, do you want to roll that vision? Here we are, heading off to pick up our new vehicle. A little bit excited about all that. So we'll sneak up the back and we'll get our first look at what she looks like. Wow, it's over the back of the car park. I can see the top of it. I can sort of see the back of it over there. We're a bit excited. Thanks to Rob, the Galactic Larrikin, for coming up. He's the one who's holding the camera at the moment, which is really nice.
G'day, trendsetters.
Thanks for coming up and helping, mate.
My pleasure.
Well, hello, shoppers. Here we are. We're about to go and pick up our new outside broadcast facility from SS Signs in Cleveland, and joining us is Dion. G'day, mate. How are you?
Very well.
Got to say, a bit excited from this distance.
Looking good.
Looking good. We'll go over and have a look. Cheers. So we're let into the secret squirrel car park out the back of SS Signs. Man. Wow. That's just one side of it. Wow. Wow, it's a lot to take in. Wow.
Wow, it's big.
Yeah, it's big. I think that's the overarching thing for it all. It's big. 100%. It's big.
You were hoping for?
Great. Looks awesome.
I think it came out great. Yeah.
Looks awesome.
I think the original blues kind of work well with the blues that are on there. Like, it doesn't look like it's an afterthought.
No,
Yeah,
no. Wow, mate.
I would like it.
That is such a difference from what it came in. Oh, shit, look at the front. Ha! Oh, mate.
I took the liberty of putting those core flutes in, but we'll work with those, I think. There's a bit of finessing we'll need to do. But
Mate, well, it looks great from out here. Just awesome. And the left side will be a little bit different to the right because we had to move things around a bit.
all in all, I think it sits pretty well. Like, no, the text really cut off. You've managed to avoid everything that's...
Yeah. Mate, that's everything I could have wished for.
Oh, glad to hear it. Well, we got the back yet as well.
Oh yeah, the back. I really like the Freedom Broadcasting Network logo. It's come up.
Yeah.
I definitely need that spare cover, don't I? Ah, mate.
Miles, I'd say.
Yeah, she's done a lot of miles. But look at that.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're happy.
Oh, mate, thank you.
Pleasure. We got there in the end.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, just over the top. Over the top. It's a great effort. And thank your team for getting it together. On
Yeah, like I was really happy with the guys. They pushed through last night and got it done. So yeah, it's a big nod to them.
Yeah, that's a big effort.
We knew today was important for me, mate. So yeah.
Well,
have to get across the
there's
line.
people flying in from all over the country for it, mate. So it was going to be a bit of a letdown if I had to bring them up here and show them a photo. But mate, that is just. Got to have another look around. Plenty of room for your business stickers on there, folks. If you want to come on board and join us, we'd love to have you. But wow, I'm blown away from what we brought into you to what you've turned out. Just, yeah, mate, top-notch effort. Thank you so much.
Welcome, more than welcome.
Right, I'm guessing that's the end of it. So we didn't see any of that here, folks, because I managed to wire it up the wrong way, which, anyway, you got to see it at home. These folks have seen the real thing. It's parked out in the front here tonight. So thank you very much to everybody who's come along tonight and managed to battle their way through the traffic. Hopefully it will be clear by the time you get home or start heading home, which won't be too much longer. We don't have all that much more that I want to get to tonight, although Darren Bergwerf is here. So there is every chance that's going to go a little while because, you know, Darren, he doesn't mind a chat and we don't mind listening. So, and it is all at My Place, launched tonight for My Place Redlands, and I'm going to put a slash at the end of it and call it Cleveland as well. Don't forget, folks, we are going to give away those half-ounce coins thanks to Ainsley Bullion. Sorry, folks, online, I don't think we can give one away online because the answering of the questions we're going to have to do will be too difficult. So it'll only go to our audience here. You missed out. But yeah, got some beautiful coins. Cass has them in her hand if you want to go and have a bit of a look at them. They're beautiful. And if you want to buy one, ainsleyBullion.com.au, the code that you can go online and use is Redlands. Okay, so I've just had the nod from Chris from Ainsley that you guys online can use that code too. So if you go to ainsleyBullion.com.au, use the code Redlands, you'll also get an entry into the 5-ounce bar of silver that Ainsley are currently giving away. That's worth, oh, I don't know, $150 or thereabouts, which you could, you know, bring to the Redlands Coast Distillery and put to very good use, I would have thought. The grand final is coming up on Saturday, the AFL grand final. If you're in Brisbane and haven't figured out a place yet, look out. If you're in Brisbane and you haven't figured out where you want to come and watch it yet, why don't you come to the Redlands Coast Distillery and do it? There's Bacchus Brewing's next door. There's a beer there. There's, well, a whole heap of magnificent stuff on this bar, I can tell you. And I haven't had any of it tonight. I'm maintaining the rage. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to the owner of this magnificent establishment. I've known this man since he was 18. I'm looking for the microphone. Cass, what did you do with your microphone? So I've known this bloke since he was 18. He came into our radio station at 3WM in Horsham at the time as a first-year radio technical apprentice.
Straight out of school.
Yeah, straight out of school. Would you, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Stephen Pannon, the owner of Redlands Coast Distillery.
Thanks, buddy.
Our host tonight. Good to see you, mate.
Likewise.
Who knew we'd be doing this 40 years
I know, it's amazing, isn't it?
I mean, it's pretty wild.
Totally. Hello, everybody out there in you know, internet world.
Pick a camera, any camera. I don't know which one we're on at the moment.
They're all really cool.
Yeah, it's a good little setup that we use.
You've got a great setup.
Thank you, mate. Well, feel free.
Everyone should be supporting him and what he's doing.
We can bring this into just about any venue, anywhere, anytime.
It's great. Look out for it all.
And we'll hopefully come back and do a few more things for you.
Yes, I'd like to see you all back.
Mate, and I had no idea that you were into distilling even back when I first met you.
Which funny you should say that, because people that are here will actually be able to see my very first still that I actually used back in 1989.
Is that thing sitting on the top of the...
That's it. So that still there is exactly the same as what Bill Lark, and for those that may know, whiskey in Australia is getting like huge.
Yes.
Bill Lark was the very first person post Bean Lee and Bundaberg Rum to get a distiller's license back in 1991.
Right.
So up until then, we only actually had 2 distilleries in Australia. One was Bundaberg and the other one's Bean Lee.
Yeah.
So he was actually the very first private person to be issued the ATO excise manufacturing license. Bill and I actually met 2 years ago at a conference, and I told him about when I started and what I had, and he put his arm around me. He goes, "Steve, the hell? Why didn't you keep going? That's exactly what I've got on my shelf."
Is that right?
I said, "No way." He goes, "Yep, it's a little still about it." And I said, "Yep, that's exactly what I've got." And so Bill got inducted that year, 2021, to the Whiskey Hall of Fame. So,
I aspire to join the Whiskey Hall of Fame.
So he was the very first inductee. And I started distilling. He didn't actually start distilling at home until the start of 1990. Well, I was already distilling 2 years in before he actually started.
Oh, wow.
So he goes, "Why didn't you keep going?" I said, "Well, I was 18.
Yeah.
I was working at a radio station."
Yeah. Very
Listen to
exciting
this guy.
stuff. Don't get paid very well, but it's very exciting.
I know. I used to wake up listening to this guy every morning.
You might be able to do it again soon.
Yeah, well, there you
Between
go.
you and the gatepost.
There you go.
So you've grown from that small still there
Yes.
to this setup, and I've seen behind these doors, folks. There's a lot more behind there
there's
too,
heaps of stuff
and
in there.
stuff in there.
Oh,
and
it's everywhere.
It's all
So
over the place. So
we
tell us about this.
So we started at home as a home-based distillery. I was issued my manufacturer's license to distill alcoholic products. So what you see in behind the fence there is Stuart, our still. So just think of him as yellow, okay, with his big eye. That's Stuart the Minion still. So we started making gin and redistilling gin into vodka nearly 2 years ago. So I am literally the very first legal distillery in this area. So I was a home distiller for a long time, never sold a drop. It was always for me because I don't drink beer. So all those beer drinkers out there, sorry, but I like to turn that into whiskey. And that's exactly what I tell the boys next door.
Yeah.
So when this building came available, I just jumped at it because not every day does a distillery get the chance to set up next to a brewery, especially if they want to make whiskey.
Yeah.
Because you need beer without hops to turn into whiskey.
Right.
So that's my goal, is to make whiskey. So I always love whiskey. Ray and I used to love whiskey.
Yes,
We'd go away, our little radio network was based in the western part of Victoria. And we used to travel to Swan Hill up on the river, Colac down near Geelong, Hamilton, where Carl was that where you started?
Yeah, I started in Hamilton.
3HA. Yep. So I was a technician. My boss loved whiskey. So everywhere we went, and it was always overseas whiskies.
Yeah.
You couldn't get anything
an Australian
here.
one, yeah.
But now the distillery industry here in Australia is huge. But we're still only about 2% of the global market when it comes to whiskey. Huh? So Scotland is still the biggest producer and exporter of whiskey to the world.
I'm not surprised. Have you heard him talk? I mean, seriously.
So anyway, I decided to jump at it, grab this venue and try and build something that people could come and really enjoy. And I've created 3 different gins, all with local ingredients, because I'm really hell-bent on supporting locals.
Yep.
In fact, the people that are here, not your internet people, but the people that are here would actually have walked past some botanical plants out the front. They're actually all freshly picked within about 45 seconds, and that's not a lie. They are weighed and then they're sitting on alcohol to make the native gin that's up there.
Wow.
So we actually bought those from Indigiscapes, which is a local native nursery run by the council. And I've grown them into plants. They get picked, they're straight onto alcohol, and then our native gin, is great over ice.
Yeah.
I try and make spirits that you can actually have over ice or straight from the bottle, because you can always colour it with something.
Yeah.
But if you have to add something to it to make it taste good, then there's a fault already there.
In the process.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and our berries and elderflower is all 100% natural. For all those out in the internet world, it's actually made with locally made strawberries.
Beautiful.
Native raspberries actually grown in our driveway. Yep. Dead set, and they taste amazing. If you have a wild tsunami, it's topped with a native raspberry. There's a hint. Raspberries from Caboolture, again, fairly local for those that know the area, and blueberries, which are amazing, from Mundubbera.
Oh, nice.
and elderflower. So it's all 100% natural. It's great with soda water, but really tastes great with tonic water as well.
Get into it, folks.
Yeah.
Go and see the guys behind the bar, or the guys and girl behind the bar, and have
gone.
a taste.
She's gone.
She's gone?
She's gone.
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 All right, well, just the young bloke then.
That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hand together for Steve. Now, online,
Yes.
you can, I'll put the link in the description of the video.
Yes.
So people can go online, they can
Yep. So
order.
those people that want to order that are online, listening or watching, we use Australia Post. They're still the cheapest form of postage service. Currently, I think up to about 5 kilos, it's $17, $18. So we don't make a cent out of the postage.
Yep.
We just make sure we're just on charge that. Whatever it costs us, we're just on charge that.
Yep. And it's insured that way then too.
Yeah, so it is.
Yep.
So automatically it's covered up to, I think, $80 or $90 or something like that, I think, automatically.
Yep.
But we've got booze going all over the world.
Yeah.
I'm not licensed to export, but if you've got friends overseas, you can send it yourself.
Right. Here's your birthday present. Here's your Christmas present.
That's right. We actually have little 200ml bottles of all 3 flavours. You can see it on the shelf there for those people that are actually here.
Yep.
That's a taste of each of the flavours.
Beautiful.
So
Something to take home.
Oh, yes.
Steve, thanks very much. Now,
right.
you're open for bookings. People can book this at
Yes.
the private venue, but you're open during the day
Yeah,
too.
we love to fill this place on Saturdays for parties and all that sort of stuff because we've only been open. This is our 6th week here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's a great venue, isn't it, folks? And would you know that Steve's into lighting and sound much?
Yeah, that might have been my other business.
Yeah.
So I actually know how to use a microphone. 'Cause
Yes.
I actually sing as well.
Yeah.
So, sorry?
Oh,
Whole
yeah.
time. Mate,
There might have been a couple of
Actually,
drunken
I was-
karaoke nights back at.
I was actually still playing in a band 3 nights a week when I was working at
Yeah.
the station.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's a muso too. So, he's all talented. So if you're looking for a venue down here in Brisbane, or if you happen to be down in the Redlands area and you haven't got anywhere to go on Saturday,
Come here
I was going to say go pies. I was waiting for the...
Oh, yeah, well, okay, I was getting there. Unit 2, number 2, Christine Place, Capalaba.
If you live in Brisbane
brewery.
and barrack for the Lions,
Go the Pies.
it's going to be a good day here.
It will be.
So Unit 2, number 2, Christine Place in Capalaba is where you'll find Redlands Coast Distillery, and right next door Bacchus Brewing.
Yes, and they've got 22 beers on tap, and they actually make 73, I think it is, different beers. And they're all craft, so they don't follow any particular format.
Can somebody go next door and get Darren Bergwerf? I reckon he'd be about halfway through them by now.
They do a really good. They actually do a
he's
really
here.
good.
Sorry, brother.
They do a pastry stout beer in there. I actually don't mind it, and I don't drink beer, but I still
Yeah,
say
nice.
it'd turn into a good whiskey.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you'll get there.
I will.
Thank you, mate.
No
Thank
worries.
you for having us
Cheers,
tonight.
Carl.
I really appreciate
And
it.
best of luck on your journey.
Thank
I hope
you.
it goes really well.
Thank you, mate. Well, we'll be very pleased to have you on the Freedom Broadcasting Network as well. Darren Bergwerf's going to come up and have a bit of a chat, and we're not going to hold people up here tonight. It's not going to be a terribly long show. There is probably one bit of intel that you may or may not have heard today about the Aussie Cossack, and can I tell you that none of us is very surprised. The head of the Russian intelligence service foreign division has come out on his own Telegram channel this afternoon and commended the Aussie Cossack on all the great work he's been doing and receiving his Russian citizenship. And what a great job the Aussie Cossack has been doing. The head of the Russian intelligence service foreign division said that he's been working with the Aussie Cossack for a very long time now. Trying to elevate the historical recollections of Russians, historical standing. And the Cossack has done a great job of that. He hasn't told lies or, anything. He's told the absolute truth about the Russian history, and he's done a very good job of it. Unfortunately, he's let the freedom movement down in a fairly big way. And I think he's finding those repercussions are coming his way. Through his followers, through the comments that we're seeing, not just on my channel, but on a variety of other channels. It's sad. A lot of people are very hurt by what's happened, and I can understand that. But This is what this business is. We're in it to try and find the people who aren't in it for us. That's what the Freedom Broadcasting Network is about. If we find people that are pushing a message that you will benefit from, then I will have them on this network in a heartbeat. But if that message they're pushing is to benefit them, if their message is to benefit a corporation, then they won't be part of the Freedom Broadcasting Network. This network is for the people. That's why if you have a business, we want you on our platform, because you are the business we want to support, and we will send people to you to help support your business. It's important, as Steve has said here, local is key. Local is key in everything that we do with the Freedom Broadcasting Network. So tonight, we're in the Redlands. In a couple of weeks' time, we'll be in Victoria. In a couple of days after that, we'll be in South Australia. In every one of those towns that we're going to, we are going to build a community or help you build your community. I can't stay in your communities and help you erect things, but what I can do is help promote, help encourage people to come and visit you, spend their money in your business, spend their time in your town. If that's something that your business needs, if that's something that your town needs, if that's something that your community needs, then get a hold and become part of My Place, because there is a site within My Place now called the Unity Hub. And this Unity Hub, which Darren will talk more about here very shortly, I believe has the potential to be one of the most important websites for the people in this country going forward. And Vince from our team has been playing a large role along with the My Place team in putting that website together. And of course, everything that he's doing for the Voice of Freedom and for the Freedom Broadcasting Network. So can I get you, ladies and gentlemen, that are here and those at home, he's probably in the chat, thank Vince for me, because without Vince, I would be lost. And we're going to get to a point where we need to pay Vince, because Vince does everything for nothing for me. And I ask a lot. I ask a lot because I have no skills in that area whatsoever. So Vince is the kind of man that I imagine all of you are here and all of you are at home. He's a doer. And he wants to get behind us and support him, but I do not want to try and look or seem or in any way take advantage of him. So that's why we ask for donations, folks, because it's not just me, it's not just the fuel for the bus. There is a team that is behind us here. Rob, who's sitting up there tonight, he's driven all the way from Canberra to come up here, not really have anything to do with anybody here at the show or anybody there, but he's pushing the buttons and making sure the cameras are working and seeing everything tonight. Now, he's driven up here, paid for it all out of his own pocket. I'll look after him for that. It's only fair. But that is the kind of commitment we have coming into our business and into the people that are supporting us. And I don't want to see people taken advantage of. The only way that we wind up being able to help these people is by getting your business involved with our business, because that gives me the funds to pay him to drive 1,000 kilometres to come and push buttons, or it gives me the funds to give him a motel room or a couch in the bus or the food or whatever he needs on the road. That's why we keep asking for donations. And yes, we were very, very fortunate in attracting some big interest in putting together this mobile broadcast unit. That should say something to everybody. When big business gets behind something like this, they know the mainstream media are not working for them. So they're going to put money into us, an alternate, true alternate media. We won't be like TNT media, TNT radio, trollops and truthless, as I like to call them. There's a reason for that. We will not be bought. We will not stand up. And if we hold a rally, folks, come to it, because that'll be the only rally I turn up to. That'll be the Freedom Broadcasting Network rally that will unite us all behind one thought, one goal, one dream. I was having a conversation on Wednesday night on the Gold Coast My Place event with a fellow who works in the background of politics and knows a lot of politicians. He was telling me about Gerard Rennick, who had made a phone call and told him, you bloody freedom movement mob, you don't know what the hell you're doing and you're not even looking for a political solution. I can't work with you. Well, I have a message for you, Gerard. You've got less than 2 years left. You're out. You will not get re-elected, and that's only because, the team you're with aren't going to have anything to do with you anymore. If you think there is a political solution to what's going on, you are wrong. There are no people here that believe a politician or a group of politicians sitting in Canberra are able or even willing to fix the issues that need fixing. Am I right?
Yes.
Right. So, Gerard Rennick, there is no political solution to what your mind is turning to. None. There is a solution, but it's not what you're turning your mind to. We will not go back into that bloody political system where you lie to us, you cheat us, and then you tell us lies about how you cheated us. It's finished. Your political solution is finished. We've had enough, all of us. Did you see the people dancing around in Melbourne the other night at Dan's demise? Well, okay. I'm not going to be dancing anywhere until we rout every last politician out of Canberra and put people in who will look after us. That's what we need. Hear, hear. And you will find those people in a My Place. Can I introduce one of them to you? He's a very good friend of mine, and he is a leader in this movement, whether he wants to be it or not. Ladies and gentlemen, Darren Bergwer from My Place.
I got the stage. It's just me. Oh, all right. Okay, thanks, Carl, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. And look, really happy to be here, and I wanted to make the effort to come up tonight because Carl and I become really good friends. I think I first come across Carl in the federal election campaign 15 months ago or 18 months ago, whenever it was. He did our first interview, and we've continued to build our relationship since then. He's got on board and come down to Frankston, as you all know, for a couple of shows that were just sellouts, and it was an amazing time. And he stayed with Anna and I for a week, and so did Laura. He came to our market, and he actually got to see and feel and breathe and live what My Place Frankston was all about, where it all started. And that was the impetus, I guess, for him to really go out there and market and sell My Place for us. And it was really from that moment onwards that My Place started to take off. We grew from 1 to 4, and then we just took off. And we have nearly 180 My Place communities around Australia at the moment. We've added about 5 or 6 in the last week, and it continues to grow, and all the groups continue to add numbers, and it is something really special that we're part of. And I thank Carl for his time, and I'm just super happy to be here to see his dream come true, and to Cass and her team, and also to Ainsley for supporting and getting this project to where it is in such a short amount of time. Congratulations, because Carl deserves this mobile recording studio, and he's going to go on the road, and we are a team, and I'm going to join him as often as I can in whatever towns we can where we have My Place communities, and potentially other towns where we don't. And we are going to grow this My Place community model across this nation to a whole new level over the next few months. And part of that is what Carl just spoke about. It is the Unity Hub that we started. And just put it this way, My Place Australia's only been going for about 9 months. And it started off as a directory for all the My Place communities once we started going national, to be able to put them up and people could come and find our website and find the closest My Place to you in whatever town or in whatever state you're in. It's now kind of gone into something way bigger than that, and we've got a massive My Place Australia team and a national team, and we're setting up our state coordinators and state Zooms to support the groups we've already got going. And now, like I said, we're going to keep building this to something that's going to be quite unique in this country's history, I believe. We've only just started, and the plans that we have And I was spruiking these plans back in January, February, way too early. I was spruiking the fact that we're going to have our own private platform way too early. It's taken 9 months to get this up and running. And Vince, like Carl said, Vince and Sean and Michael and the IT team have done an amazing amount of work. I mean, we've got volunteers putting in 30 hours plus a week. And Vince does it also for Carl, and he does it for Tim Dwyer as well. And he's a machine. And he lives and breathes doing the work. He doesn't go to rallies. He's not out there banging drums, and he's not out there on social media looking for the next kind of news story that tells us someone's about to come and save us. He's in behind the scenes doing the work, and that's the silent achievers, and that's what My Place is about. We're not interested really in the news, right? We don't look in the rear vision mirror. That's done. We're all victims in this country. Every single one of us is a victim. But we've got to stop playing the victim. Forget about that, okay? Move on, right? Because we need to step up, and we need to forget about the past. Not forget about it, sorry. I'll rephrase that. We need to put the past behind us, because that dark energy and that victimhood that too many are still stuck in is actually holding you back from moving forward and creating and building the new future for our country. And this isn't a theoretical future that we're going to put it all on paper. This is what we want. This is a new constitution we want, because we all know the difference between theory and practice. What we're doing at My Place Communities is practicing the new Australia that we want. We're building it. We're creating it. So while we started off as fighting the old system and exposing the old system, that's going to become less and less of what My Place Communities are about in the future. Because we're sick of fighting. We don't need to fight. We really don't. Okay, I am a fighter, 100%. And a lot of people in the My Place Communities are fighters also. But I'm also a builder. And I'd rather be building and creating than fighting. Okay, because the energy it takes to fight is a lot more than the energy it takes to create. And that's where we're transitioning at the moment, and then we're trying to get everyone to transition with us. And what that means is turning our back on the old ways in every single way that you feel comfortable to do. And come and join us in building the new Australia on the ground in every community around the country. And that's exactly what we need to do. That's why Carl is going to be a big part of that as he goes on the road. And he's also setting up a new media empire that we're going to support him. And lots of people are going to get behind him in supporting him to build that new media empire, a freedom media empire that's not political. It's all about the people and what we want. And we don't have to go cap in hand to these muppets that are in power at the moment, with petitions crawling there on our hands and knees begging them to stop. We just walk away. They can play their little game until their game's up, and it won't take long. The more people that walk away from the system, and it's a little bit controversial. I don't think I want to go too much into politics tonight, but I do believe that the whole idea of not taking part in their system anymore to the nth degree is really starting to resonate around this country and grow. It started off as a little bit divisive, some people thought, when I said that we shouldn't be voting in the referendum for multiple reasons. And now everywhere I see on social media, and every leader, well, not every leader, but quite a few leaders of other organisations and groups now are starting to come out and agree with what Carl and I discussed 2 weeks ago on Voice of Freedom. So I believe that momentum will grow. It really doesn't matter what happens on the 14th of October with this vote. Everybody's going to get their knickers in a knot if the yes vote gets up. I can pretty much guarantee you, whether the no vote gets up or the yes vote gets up, they're going to do whatever they want to do. The same as they did in '88 when we voted 65% for no third level of government, and we have a third level of government. So the sooner people get the idea or the understanding that it doesn't matter what you vote for, they're going to do as they damn well please. So, and the fact that we also know that they're an unlawful, unconstitutional, foreign occupying, belligerent, corporate government, and we have that knowledge, then, if we take part in this, then we are actually committing a crime, in my opinion, because it's a fraud. And, if we are complicit in that fraud, then that makes us frauds as well. That's my opinion. It's not a My Place opinion, because we don't dictate to our communities what they should think or what they should do. But we do like to put all the cards on the table so people can make an informed decision moving forward. And all of these things and all these options and all the knowledge of what's true and what is fact need to be talked about, okay, whether they're uncomfortable or not. And that's one thing that I'll always do, is be controversial and talk about the uncomfortable issues, and put all the facts that I believe are facts, and have the discussions. And I've done it for 18 months where I will come out with outrageous statements sometimes to create a discussion. And that's what we need to be doing. We need to be discussing everything that's going on in this country, and then coming up with a consensus, all right, not a narrative. There's no more narratives in Australia that I want moving forward. It has to be a consensus of the people. And that's why I've said from day one, well, not from day one, but pretty much straight after the federal election, that there's no political answer to the problems we have. And I still strongly believe that. And I think more and more people are starting to see that as well. So I won't waffle on all night, but I'm really, really proud to be here, and I made the effort to come up here because I knew Carl was going to be unveiling this new this motorhome, this Voice of Freedom truck, so he could get on the road, and My Place will be right behind him all the way. And he will be doing a great service for My Place communities and a great service for the people of this country in the message that that he's selling and the interviews that he does. It will be a people's movement, and it will not be political. And I'm really proud to call Carl a mate. Because I've really built a close relationship with Carl over the last 12 months, but especially the last probably 3 months. He came down to Sydney to support our launch for My Place Sydney, and he came down to pick us up from the airport, and he's driving us around, and he's just he's an amazing man, and I think he's going to help the freedom movement move forward with our own kind of unique platform, I guess, and that platform's going to grow. His viewership will grow. The message of the people will grow, and My Place will grow. And I think the Unity Hub, sorry, that was the one thing that I wanted to get off as well, which the Unity Hub is what we started building in January, February this year. And it's a brand new private platform for all our My Place people at the moment, but it will become, we will have a public page on there at some stage. It is private. It's away from the peering eyes of employers looking at what their employees are posting on social media. It is no fact checking. It's on our private servers. It's taken hundreds and hundreds of hours to get this built and a lot of money. It is a subscription for this. It's going to be $5 a month or $60 a year. So it's only one cup of coffee a month. But what you're going to get on that, especially if you have a small business, you'll be straight into the classified part of our Unity Hub where you'll advertise your business. We will be setting up other channels on the Unity Hub. We will have a buy, swap and sell. We'll have like a trading post at some point. We'll have a situations vacant where we can match like-minded employers with like-minded employees. And we're building a whole parallel community where we look after each other. We'll have farmers on board. We're building a network of food security and the food cooperative. So while we continue to build all the skills and all the things that we need in our communities, and also the small business and the big thing that we're about from day one is to defund the multinational globalist corporations, and especially the two biggest supermarkets that have raped and pillaged our farmers for decades, okay, and forced them off the land and forced them to take their own lives in some instance. So we are all about micro businesses and small businesses, and we've got to support each other. And that goes with having the discipline to stop spending money at these big multinationals and keep that money flow with the people, okay? And we will have a whole list of skills and trades and businesses within the My Place communities. And you need to reach out. We need to reach out and make sure we support those people, the ones that got sacked, the ones that actually stood up like strong men and women of this country and said no from the start. They deserve to be supported, and we must support each other. Okay, and that's rebuilding community, putting unity back into community, and the re-education of a nation. And knowledge is power, and that's something that My Place is going to be about. It's about getting the knowledge, and if we can link a lot of knowledgeable groups around the country and united and be connected and be working together as one and having the same knowledge, we're going to become a very, very, very powerful community. And I'm really looking forward to the next 3 months and next year as this grows. And once again, Carl, thank you. I won't waffle on too much longer. Well, actually, I won't waffle on any longer. You know, you're amazing, and what you've done for My Place, I'm really appreciative of, and we're going to have a really strong relationship working together in the future, and the same with Cass. I can see us working together in Ainsley. We're all going to come together, and we've got to support you know, all the businesses that stood up. And once again, Richie's IGA, if we have to shop at a supermarket, we can't find stuff at markets, then that's where we should be spending our money, because that's where the community benefits. And they didn't force vaccinate their staff, and they don't have digital, you know, ID cameras, and they have staff on every checkout. So if you're going to have to shop at any supermarket, I would suggest IGA, Richie's is the business, and I'll be going to speak to those the people at the top of that chain not too far away as well. So once again, I'll leave it there. Thank you, guys. And Australia, please get behind us.
Thanks, Darren. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Don't mind me. I'll break a knee getting up on the stage. Shut up, Rachel. Stop laughing at me. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't met Rachel yet, there's Rach down the front. She's my right hand, if you know what I mean. So thank you, Rach, for coming tonight. I know it's a bit of a drive for you to come in, so I really do appreciate that too. All right, folks, who wants to win I was going to say a 5-ounce coin? Who's going to win a half-ounce silver coin? All right, you're going to have to put your hand up. Cass, I don't know if you can look into that light and still see where the hands are going to be. Hands down first, because you haven't heard the question yet. Gee. So the first hand up for the first question is, where would you go to buy bullion? Oh, there you go. You said put the hand up. All right, go on. We're going to have to do a harder one than that. All right, what's Cass's first name? Oh, got one? All right, down the back. All right, now we're going to try and get the answer out. That was a rough one.
Kathleen. Kathleen or Catherine?
Oh, no, you get one go. Pick.
All right, Kathleen.
You got it wrong. You got it wrong.
Kathy.
Wrong, Camillo.
Oh!
You had 4 goes and still got it wrong. That's no good. There you go.
Sandra?
So her name is Cass, but not really. Cass is short for something.
Catherine?
There you go. There you go. Catherine Smith. But we call her Cass because that's the kind of thing that she is. All right. What is the name of the new alt media service? Oh, looks like Sue to me. Oh, no, that's Voice of Freedom, not the media service. What's the name of the new media company?
Freedom Broadcasting Network.
Ah, there you go. Camillo. Got to say thank you to Camillo from the Sunshine Coast for coming down tonight too. Hello to Mason and Donna, who I'm sure got caught in the traffic and decided to go home. Thank you for coming down tonight. You and the lovely Tammy too, Camillo. I was going to bring you your Super Mario hat, and I bloody forgot. So I'll have to sort that out. All right, how many we got to go? 3. All right. What is the name of Cass's business? Oh, I saw the hand go up first. It looks like Linda down the back there.
Freedom Financial Services.
Oh, close enough. All right, there's 2 gone. There are 2 galactic larrikins. What are their names? Oh, there's a hand.
Bob, Robert,
Rob?
Rob.
Rob is one. What's the other one?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm happy with one. I'm happy with one. Give it to Rob. There you go. The other one is Bradford, although we lovingly refer to him as Bruce for no apparent reason. Just turn that up. Other than Freedom Financial Solutions, who is our other major sponsor? I saw a hand go up. Cass, don't slip over.
Ainsley Gold Bullion.
There you go. Yay. Is that all of them, or we got one left? That's it. Congratulations to our winners tonight. Thank you to Ainsley Bullion. And if you want to pick up one of those half-ounce coins, they're about, well, last time I looked, they were $22.50. They're probably about $25 now, the way silver keeps going up. It's worthwhile going to go and grab. So go on to ainsleyBullion.com.au, use the code Redlands, and you'll be able to get an entry into the competition to win their 5-ounce silver bar that they've got up for grabs as well. Cass, have you anything to add tonight?
No, other than just thank you all for coming, and for those online, thank you so much for supporting us and for supporting Carl. And as Carl mentioned earlier, this isn't the end of the road. We've got the bus. We've got to get
on the road.
We've got about 2 months at most running costs. Then we're done. So if you want us to keep going, particularly Carl and the bus, send businesses, donations, advertising. Not just about donations, advertising. If you want your business...
If you've got a business, we want to advertise it for you. And we're going to create a platform that people are obviously going to listen to, because you like good music, don't you? So we will play good music, and we will play a lot of good truth, which you won't hear on radio, mainstream radio.
Yes, so help us and we'll help you.
Absolutely. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that managed to fight your way through the traffic here tonight. I can't thank you enough for joining us for our launch tonight, although we are a small and intimate crowd. I said to Steve when we arranged this, I said, I don't know, mate, there might be 10 people, there might be 100. We sent out, I think, about 80 or 90 odd invitations, but I know a lot of people, long weekend, football finals tomorrow, football finals Sunday, a night at a distillery may have been a bit of a turn-off. Did you hear that? Go Pies from Steve in the background. Is there anybody here supporting the Lions tonight? Oh, no, and somebody over the back saying I am. Oh, good on you, Tammy. Camilo's wife is swatting the Lions, but she doesn't know why. That's exactly right. If you're going to the footy, it's the circus, okay? Bread and circuses. That was what the Romans' trick was, remember? Give them bread and circuses, you can do anything to them. Well, the two greatest circuses are in town this weekend. So if you are part of our freedom movement and you plan on getting all excited about the foosball, you probably need to think a bit harder about the freedom movement. Stop being distracted, because it is a distraction. That's what they do. It's the entertainment. So good luck if you are going to follow your team. I used to barrack for Collingwood. I gave up in 1977 after they drew the first grand final and lost the replay a week later by the largest losing margin in a grand final ever. I went out immediately and burnt my Collingwood scarf and haven't had one since. So I don't really care who wins, but good luck if you're following it. And thank you again, folks, for being part of this journey with us. We look forward to seeing you on the road, and look forward to talking to you in our next show. No doubt Monday night we'll flash through a bit of what's going on here, and we'll do a little bit of an update on what's going on with life in the freedom movement at the moment. As I said tonight, I'm sure mainstream media will be having a ball with it if they are actually mentioning it all, but I know the alt media will be having a ball with the fact that the Aussie Cossack is being congratulated by the head of the Russian intelligence service about becoming a Russian citizen, and outing him as somebody he's been working with for a long time. So I don't know what those repercussions are, folks, but I have been getting phone calls for the last 2 days. I've been getting emails for the last 2 or 3 days from people who are immensely disappointed in what's happened in that particular scenario. They placed a great deal of faith, a great deal of support. They've sent a great deal of money, and those people are now feeling betrayed in a lot of ways. So I'm sure. Oh, yeah. The guy down the Freedom truck, same deal. Paul Offey. Well, I think you'll hear more about Paul Offey's story and the Aussie Cossacks' involvement in that as we go forward. But Paul has a interesting court date, the 24th of June, 2024. Any of you into gematria? 666. It's an interesting court date. We'll leave you on that just for this moment. And folks, thank you for joining us online. Thank you for being part of this show. Thank you for coming tonight. If you've made the drive, and I know a lot of you have driven, well over 100 kilometres to be here, and some of you have flown Cass. Thank you for coming from Canberra. And thank you to Darren Bergworth and his lovely wife Anna for coming up from Melbourne. Camillo and the crew from the Sunshine Coast, Sue and everybody else. Oh, Rolly's here. Now, Rolly has... if you folks, you might have heard me talk about making your own silver. We did a show on that a little while ago, and I showed you some silver that was made in the shape of a VoF, which was just, never knew it could be done. The gentleman who did that, his name is Rolly, and he was over the back there before. He'd be sitting around here somewhere. Now, he has made some more little silver pieces. If you would like to have a look, he's selling them for $25. He only has 10 of them. He's going to give Voice of Freedom $10 out of every one that is bought tonight. So if you are at all interested, here's Rolly here. And, you're going to show me one? Give me one and I'll flash them up. If there's anybody online who wants something like this, then they are true. And it's all solid silver, isn't it? They're pure silver. So this is just some of the stuff, and it's in a beautiful little display, and the silver crystals in it. Obviously, you're not going to get a great detail on this, but it is truly magnificent. Oh, what's this one? Here's one he made this morning. Now, this is pure silver. Oh, 95? Oh, okay, righto. Now, you can ask Rolly how he does this process, because you can do it at home. You can create your own silver. Is this the kind of silver that you can walk into Ainsley Bullion and sell? No. Ainsley Bullion can only buy, I guess, Cass, there's probably a word for it. Is it registered silver or 99.99% proof? And this isn't, and would have to go through a refining process to be graded as such, even though it is pure. It would need to be graded. So there are, I believe, ways of doing this. There's a smelter in Ormo. You can take your silver there, smelt it, they'll bar it for you, they'll add other bits to it, and then they'll grade it and maybe give you a 99.9 grading, but that would depend on the impurities and other bits and pieces in it. But anyway, Rolly's probably the bloke to talk to. This is him here. He's a very, very talented man, and he has, did you see that little engine that I had on a show a bit? Sorry, mate, take that one. Oh, yeah. There's some big chunks in that. That's probably hard to see for you online, but it's just truly beautiful up close. I like the shiny stuff. Don't we like the shiny stuff? Yeah. The girls like the shiny stuff. I can see them all going, oh. But yeah, go and have a chat with Rolly. He'll be able to help you out with that. And like I say, he's got 10 of these, $25, $10 goes to the Voice of Freedom to go in the petrol tank. So if you can help him out tonight, that'd be great. And apparently he's been a bit creative. He's actually done some in a balloon as well, silver in a balloon that's been popped later, and obviously it's got that nice spherical shape. Who knew? So thank you, Rolly, for bringing those through. That's awesome. And in closing tonight, folks, there is one person in particular that I want to thank. And I want to thank my daughter, Laura. She's here tonight. Can you give her a round of applause, folks? So when I took some design thoughts to the people who wrap the bus, SS Signs, I went to them with an idea that either I didn't convey very well, or whatever they came back with wasn't what we were looking for. I described to Laura, who was playing around with some animation drawing thing on an iPad. I said, can you make anything do with that? Here's a picture of the bus. I want to do this sort of gradient on it, and I want to make it look like that. Can you do that? And she said, yeah, I think I can do that. 2 hours later, she came back with what was the base design for the vehicle. I took that then to the professionals. And they've zhuzhed it up a bit. But that design on that vehicle is pretty much ostensibly Laura's original design that's just been zhuzhed up. And it's her first ever graphic design job. So I'm very proud of my little girl. I'm very, very proud. So maybe if you've got a graphics job you need doing, she might be able to do you a deal. But I just want to thank her publicly because the work she put in sped up this process. And if she hadn't have been able to translate what I was thinking into a picture that I could show the professionals, then that vehicle wouldn't be parked out the front. It'd still be waiting to get wrapped. So, yeah, round of applause for my daughter. Thank you. And on that note, folks, thank you for having us in your house tonight. We look forward to coming to an area near you real soon. And Rachel's the lady to talk to try and organise that. As you would appreciate, I know I'm going to Adelaide, but coming back from Adelaide, we're going to flip the coin. You tell us where you want me to be, and that's what we'll do. So get a hold of Rachel at vofhq.com and just tell us what town you're in, where you are. It doesn't matter if you're just a little town on the side of the highway that we would normally blow through. We will pull up on the side of the road and come and have a talk to you anywhere, anytime. That's what the freedom movement needs, and that's what the Freedom Broadcasting Network is all about. And the voice of freedom is always going to be your voice. Thank you very much, folks. Be safe on those roads this weekend. There is up.
One ant stand up to us, then they all might stand up. Those puny little ants outnumber us 100 to 1. And if they ever figure that out, there goes our way of life. It's not about food. It's about keeping those ants in line. That's why we're going back. Does anybody else want to stay? Let's ride!